What's up, everyone? I'm Mr. Brown, and welcome to Principles of Arts, AV Technology, and Communication. This is our first day of school. Let's get started. All right, everybody. To get started, we're going to just talk about a few of the things that are going to be going on today. We're going to look at classroom norms, expectations, staying connected, how to stay connected with me and with the school, and also what our classroom workflow is going to look like. This year, it's going to be a little bit different. Some of you are going to be learning at home. Some of you are going to be learning in class. But regardless, we're all going to be learning the exact same way. Everyone is going to be in an online kind of environment. Everything from your assignments being online to even your teaching is going to be online. That's right. I'm not going to be standing up and teaching. I'm going to be pre-recording everything so that everyone gets the exact same instruction. Plus, it gives you the ability to rewind and rewatch as you need to. You'll be watching me and other instructors. So it's not just going to be me all the time teaching you. We're going to bring in some industry experts and tutorials from online to help you guys learn and build solid foundations in AV production. Let's talk about rules really quickly. These rules apply mostly to the people in class, but there are some rules that apply to everybody. The very first one applies to everybody, and that rule is respect. You've got to be respectful. It's the foundation of everything we do in this course. First, be respectful of your teacher, and I'm going to be respectful of you. Second, be respectful, if you're here, of the space and property afforded you to learn and train. This is very, very important because we all share this property. It's community property, community equipment that we're using to learn and grow together. So be respectful. That means don't do stupid things like pry the keys off the keyboard or stick glue or gum under the table or just anything like that. Be respectful of our property. Be respectful of one another. And this is really, really important because in a class like this, it's a creative environment, and respecting one another helps us to be better at communication and better at being creative. It really does help us to hone our craft because there's a safe environment where you can trust what your neighbors, what your partners, what your peers are telling you. So respect is going to be foundational when we talk about respecting one another in this process. And lastly, respect the learning process. Sometimes it's challenging and sometimes it's hard and sometimes it forces us to be uncomfortable. But the learning process is vital and helps us to grow. And in this type of technical and also artsy kind of world that we're diving into here, that learning process can be slow for some and it can be fast for some. We all are going to move at a different pace. So just respect that learning process. Know that it's going to take time to get you where you need to be, and hang on and be patient with us as we're all working and growing together. The next rule, be on task. Even if you get finished with the assignment for this class, find something else to do. You have access to so much technology and so many softwares that you may not have access to at home. Use that time that you have that might be extra, even if it's just 5 minutes, to create something. Practice, grow your skills, get better at what you're doing. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to have this equipment sitting in front of you. Use every minute of the 45 minutes you have to learn and grow. I have a list of things for those of you who are learning here in classroom that I do not want you to do unless you ask permission. Thing number one, most of our room is made up of whiteboards. Don't draw on them unless you ask for permission. I don't mind you drawing on them. Sometimes it's appropriate, sometimes it's not. So just ask before you just decide to start decorating our walls. Second, don't plug your phone to charge into anything without asking. Sometimes students just pull plugs out or stick USB cables in, and that can be an issue sometimes. So definitely make sure that you are asking before you plug in to charge something. And lastly, and this one, oh my goodness, guys, please don't do this. Please don't touch anything on my desk. Sometimes this looks clean right now, but sometimes my desk gets ridiculously messy. And even though it looks like total chaos, I actually know where everything is. So just don't touch it unless you ask. You will keep me from having a heart attack, and you will also keep yourself from getting yelled at. Let's talk about staying connected. And staying connected is going to be a little bit harder this year than it has been in years past. For those of you who are in class, it's going to be a little bit easier. But for those of you who are learning at home, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. So, that in mind, Here's the different ways we can stay connected. I'm going to put a link in the description below, but you're going to bookmark our Google site. That's going to help you out so much. It's bit.ly/34JGJ3 and then a capital W, and that link will be below, and that's going to take you to my Google site, and that's going to be the face of all of our learning for the whole year. So everything you'll need to know, announcements, information, all going to be posted on that Google site. That's going to be your main place to go. Next, you need to make sure you join your appropriate Google Classroom. You can check the website for your code, but I've actually already added all the students that were on my roster into that Google Classroom. So make sure you're in the right Google Classroom. Double check on that and let me know if you're not. You need to follow me also on Remind. All of our information is also going to go out on Remind, just in case you might forget something and you're having a great time on the weekend and don't want to go check the Google site. I will send you some information on Remind. My Remind is at PRINOFAV and then the number 1. And there's going to be a link below so you can kind of find that one also. You can also follow me on Twitter, and this is great to kind of share with your parents because I'm going to be showcasing a lot of the work you guys are doing in here on that Twitter account. So follow me on Twitter at Mr. Brown THS. Pretty simple, Mr. Brown THS. Find me on Twitter. You can also, and an email is going to be like one of the main ways I also communicate. You can send me messages on Remind. You can message me on Twitter. But I really, really, really would rather you email me at william.brown@terrellisd.org. So please make sure you get that email address down, and you or your parents can message me at any time. This is how things are going to kind of work each and every day when you guys walk in or log in. Each day, there's going to be a warm-up. Sometimes it's graded, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a game, sometimes it's something you need to write. There's going to be something to get you going and get you flowing each and every day on our warm-up. Second, that's number 2, you're going to watch the instructional video. What you're doing right now, this is the instructional video, so make sure you watch that. After the instructional video, in class time, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to ask clarifying questions. So if you're confused or just have a question about something, we're going to have a time set aside to ask those questions to make sure everybody knows we're on the same page. If you're learning online and you don't understand, please feel free to send me an email. I will be answering those emails at a designated time each and every day so you can make sure we're all on the same track. You can also, if we need to, we'll set up a Zoom and I can help you that way. Next, after we ask clarifying questions, you guys are going to be allowed to work on your assignments. There's going to be projects and assignments each and every day. Sometimes you'll start a new one every day. Sometimes you'll have one that starts on Monday and may last 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 days. As we get further along, some of our projects may even last longer than a week. So start working on your projects. When it is time to go, I'm going to give you guys a warning for those of you who are in class. Make sure you save your work, log out, and then clean up your work area. And when you walk out of the door, we're going to be following the arrows. When you walk out of my door, you're going to go to the left and you're just going to keep going. Follow those arrows all the way out because traffic here at the campus is one way. So for those of you who are in class, when this video is over, we're going to actually have a few more discussions about the rules that apply for those of you who are learning in person. But for those of you who are learning at home, I'm so glad you're in my class, and I'm hoping to get to speak with you all more and get to know you all better. And for those of you who are at home learners, we're going to be doing some different fun assignments that we don't do for our in class. So those I will be sending to you in different messages instead of including them in the weekly or daily instructional stuff. So guys, that's it for me today. I'm so happy you're in my class. Looking forward to working with you this year. We're going to learn so much about creating and so much about just having fun and getting better at Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, all these different technologies and softwares, using cameras. It's just going to be so much fun this year, and I'm looking forward to getting to grow and learn with you all. All right, so until tomorrow, have a great day. See ya.